Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the semi-final match of EU Play-ins Week 1, where we get to find out the four teams that are going to have the opportunity, to play in the possibility of going into the pro scene. I've made my words wrong there, but I know what I meant. Yes, the play-in for the pro league. That's
Essentially,
right.
just to break it down really simplistically, folks, what we're doing here both today and yesterday for North America and EU respectively, this one-shot, one-week tournament will enable the top four teams in this tournament to go ahead for the next 2 weeks and play in a round-robin type series of events where the top two teams will play in the actual Smite Pro League. So this is a very big, important week for teams trying to make their footprint on the SPL.
And two of those teams right now are going to be Heroes and Zeros, the underdogs of EU. In essence, sort of late bloomers-esque of NA here, taking out I5 last round. And they're going to get to face off against Exposed Secrets in this game, And Exposed Secrets are one of those teams we said, on paper, when you see their names, you're scared. You know, if you see them in your solo queues, you're like, don't really fancy leaning against that guy, if that's okay. However, when it came to their team play, and they're working as a team, as a unit, it didn't seem to pay off for them, but now they've found traction again and have this shot in the round-robin stages in the semi-finals against Heroes and Zeros. Let's see what they're going to do, because at the moment, Janus, Osiris, Loki, and Thor band away, and there's, once again, an insta-lock Athena for Heroes and Zeros.
Exposed Secrets is a team that I'm definitely excited to go ahead and cast again. We have popular names: Funballer, Shadow Nightmare, Zalia, Frostiak. These players have been in and around the European scene. Zalia, a crowd favorite just a couple of months ago. People were shouting his names from the rooftop. Still has that skill, but unfortunately his team has not really fit the bill. So we got to see exciting stuff coming out from there. I'm sure a lot of people at home are happy that Zalia is back being broadcast. Zalia, like I said, still a fan favorite for many people out there. Maybe, well, we won't see his raw, but maybe we'll see something exciting coming out from him. And Zalia is known to play a lot of odd things.
Vamana. Maybe we'll see some Vamana. He's very well known for his Vamana. And it'll be interesting to see what he does choose. But at the moment on the paper, we've got Athena, Ra, and Agni for Heroes and Zeros. So that's their mid and solo lane pretty much sorted out right there. Exposed Secrets gone for Mercury, Ram, and Geb. So they've sorted out their dual lane and the jungler. I like the Ra pickup from Heroes and Zeros here, because generally in the solo lane, if you want to play safe and you just want to have a standard lane, you pick Ra, you know? It's very difficult, to an extent, it's very difficult to lose lane as Ra. You just play very safe and farm, and then transition later. And when you're going to go against someone like Zalia, it's not a bad call at all.
Not a bad call in the slightest. Geb being picked up for Exposed Secrets is so powerful. A lot of people... Geb has been sort of overlooked recently with the Kumbhakarna and the attention to Athena. For good reason, the attention to Athena. But Geb has been overlooked by a number of teams, and I'm curious to see how well he can do for Exposed Secrets. Is that shield does a lot. It gets rid of CC, which is something that Agni depends a lot on.
Well, not just Agni, but Athena with those taunts as well can break that one off them. And with that Hombats being locked in, once again, Fear No Evil, the shield can help there as well. And obviously, you're going to see Artemis with the bow. So, you know, Geb's going to have his work cut out with those shields overall in this composition, with how much CC is being on the table from Heroes and Zeros. But Isis being picked up, and the last pick for Exposed Secrets, what is it going to be? That's the question right now. What are we going to see coming out probably in the solo lane from Zalia? What do you reckon?
I think we're actually going to see a jungle pick right here. Ymir. So we're either going to see the solo Ymir come out from Zalia, or we're going to see the solo jungle or the solo Mercury come out from Zalia. Both of which I've seen Zalia do. Both of which I know are possible. It's definitely very Zalia right now that we're seeing an odd pick in the solo lane.
That's true.
Taking a look at who's playing what, we're going to see Zalia on that Mercury, as I called it. So we will see a jungle Ymir played by Frostiak and a solo lane Mercury played by Zalia.
Yeah, just to check with you guys,
on your screen's a little messed up. So
blame Brad. Production says it's got it slightly wrong, so it should be the other way round between the two. So there we go. It's started now. Zalia is going to be playing Mercury in the solo lane. Like Eftar said, Frostiak in the jungle. So there's the team composition. How does Mercury play out in the solo lane, Eftar?
Mercury plays very interestingly. He has to be very aggressive. Taking a look, it's most likely going to be Arna King in that solo lane on Ra. It's a decent matchup for Mercury. Yeah, if he wants to get the kill, he's going to have to go all in. So we should see a passive Mercury for the most part. But the beauty of solo lane Mercury is that he can really deter people from ganking him with the ability to have not just special delivery, but sonic boom. He can be pushed up, and there's also the Zelia factor. This guy is an all-star Hindu man. Everybody, if you're not familiar, if you're newer to the Smite scene, Zelia used to play on top team Cloud9. They went ahead and they picked up NQ, formerly on Team SK Gaming. So Zelia formed a team with a bunch of other former All-Stars, for lack of a better term, created Exposed Secrets. They haven't seen much success lately, but in this play-ins right now and in the future, they look to turn that around.
But talking about SK Gaming as well, Vastrakal, I believe you were telling me earlier, used to be a former member of SK Gaming, playing for Heroes and Zeros this time round. So these guys have been around the block from both teams overall, and you know, it's kind of showing why they've managed to get themselves into this possible position of getting themselves into those pro spots still with newer teams, newer identities, and see if they can play this one out. Who do you reckon on paper, though? Who do you like out of these two team comps right now?
Honestly, I don't know what to expect, and predicting anything while Heroes and Zeros is on the table, I just don't know who to go with, because Heroes and Zeros have been such a surprise this week. Exposed Secret looked great, but I wouldn't be surprised if Heroes and Zeros took it out from underneath them.
Well, we'll see if the Heroes are going to continue to be that, or will they be Zeros after this game, thanks to the help of Exposed Secrets trying to bring them down. We'll be right back, guys. I'm Hindu Man. Alongside me is F-Dot. As soon as the game's loaded, we'll be right back with you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are live with Heroes and Zeros versus Exposed Secrets. Your first look at the EU play-in teams. Two of the teams, rather, that have made it into week 2. And we see an invade from Exposed Secrets very early.
Both teams very aware of where each other are as they can see each other. Darzer taking a lot of damage. Going to be forced onto the tower, close. Making it safe. A lot of time before we see them get back into the jungle, Hindu Man. So he's going to be no harm, no foul, but a lot of aggression, and Heroes and Zeros better be ready.
Yeah, early wards placed out by Heroes and Zeros, but the speed that Exposed Secrets did that invade on, they didn't get spotted by those. But on paper right now, we're going to see Heroes and Zeros, the team that defeated I5, surprisingly enough, to everybody at home, and just us as well, after. We're going to see Enigma in the middle lane playing Agni, on King, on Raw, and the right-hand lane. Elesto playing in the duo lane as Athena, Vastrakal playing Artemis as a hunter, and finally in the jungle, Darza, who took a bit of damage there at the start but survived nicely on Humbats in the jungle.
Exposed Secrets representing Zelia on that Mercury. He's in the solo lane, not the jungle. Jungle's going to be instead of Frostiak on that Ymir, something Shane brought into the meta so long ago. Funball and I'm Dazer will be making up the duo lane on Ram and Gap respectively, while Shadow Nightmare places famous Isis in the middle lane, already putting a lot of damage onto Enigma.
Dazer is in a lot of trouble as well. At the same time, he's having to be body blocked by Funball here, who has to tumble away, going to get a nice shot off onto Alestro, but Dazer drops very low there on the right-hand lane early on for Heroes and Zeros.
Heroes and Zeros putting pressure all over the place, but right now Exposed Secrets, the ones with the pressure points. Shadow Nightmare is up against Enigma. Enigma's healed back up a decent amount with that health potion that he brought from the base, but great spirit balls coming out from Shadow Nightmare. Misses one for the first time, and Enigma is the one being pressured in this match.
Yeah, Agni's putting under a lot of pressure over there. Shadow Nightmare just continuing to push this in over and over again, denying Enigma as much gold as possible to that tower. We'll be able to soak up the experience for the most part. As you can see, also, Darza dropping very low on the right-hand side, looking to recall back to base, and Frostiak still floating around here on that jungle Ymir right now.
Ymir trying to find some farm. Going to go ahead and get safe back camps most likely, and that's where we're going to see Ymir. He's actually going to rotate around. Curious to see what he's doing. He wants to come into the middle lane and make something happen, but with the amount of pressure that Shadow Nightmare is putting on Enigma, Enigma hasn't been able to leave the tower.
No ward, though, from him in this right-hand side, so he doesn't know, and Enigma now spots it out, but Frosted is going to rotate in mid, soak up a bit of XP, and rotate into the jungle. Are they going to look for an invade here, or are they looking for the overextended Heroes and Zeros in this duo lane? Well, the ward's going to spot him out coming, and already Vastrakal's running, but at the same time, Athena just went in at the same time as that. It looks like Athena's going to be first blood here after.
Yeah, Athena left out by himself. El Seto is going to be dead right here. Vashikal pushing up just a little bit, excited by the lack of life in Funballer and Dazer's life bars. But with Ymir here, very careful about what he's doing. And now it's a 2-on-1. Still got to be careful, but he can get some poke out.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the jungle we're going to see from Frostiak playing Ymir, it's not one we see that often in competitive play after, but what it is a very aggressive jungler. He's looking to gank as often as possible, and Soak experiencing lanes more often than not. He's just looking for the aggressive ganks, get the frost off, make sure they're frozen in place, and allow the team to really put out the damage.
Mid camp's about to respawn. El Seto coming back to the mid camps instead of going to his lane where the other support is. So Exposed Secret's putting out some pressure onto this lane in the left-hand side, but they're going to miss these mid-camps, making a play on a Shadow Nightmare as well. Good wing gust, going to force Enigma out of the fight. Got a lot of range and a great silence onto Dazer, but he's going to go down. Credit to El Seto. Meanwhile, Enigma gets dead as well, and Rob
the snipes!
artillery from the side.
Trying to find the snipes, just find one, but not enough to take him out. But that's going to cause a few issues now for El Seto again as the Cataclysm comes out from Daza, and that's going to be, Dazer, and that's going to be another kill and give a killing spree to Frostiak in the jungle, who's now looking to invade on the backside, knowing Daza's only level 4 on this Hot Bats. He's got a 2-level lead in the jungle right now, and he's looking to fight some more.
Good basics coming out onto Darza. Of course, that's really what makes Ymir very powerful. The passive, when you hit somebody with a Ymir ability, the next basic hit onto them does a lot of damage. And right now, Frostiak is in a great position. Jungle Ymir is a character that does really well when given a lead, and not so well otherwise. Right now, he's definitely got a lead. Level 6 on him, level 4 on the Hun Bats. And if you take a look at the gold differential, Hindu Man, you got 3,500 on him, and Darza 2,800. It's almost 1,000 gold. Ymir definitely in the lead.
And if you look at what he did as well, Frostiak didn't even start with a Hand of the Gods this game. He went for the Bumbers and the Boots overall. Got Blink online now, so you'll have to see what he transitions into if he goes for that later on. Already he's looking for Arm King here on this row, on this side. He's got a ward to spot him out and see, but so do they. And now Frostiak needs to watch himself because Daza is in the area, going to get seen out for the most part. A Shadow Nightmare in middle lane forces El Seto to ult onto Agni, but not going to find anything for it. So that ultimate from Athena is going to be on cooldown for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, over here in the right-hand lane, Exposed Secrets were in an interesting spot. Heroes and Zeros didn't collapse on them. Ymir was stuck in between two members over here by the solo lane. The blink in. Good ultimate coming out from the Hun Bats. Great decision. That's going to allow Heroes and Zeros to both get their buff. They're going to lose the buff.
They don't get the blue.
Save their lives. Right. And that's good enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a small win for Exposed Secrets overall. Ultimate for Ultimate was channeled there between the two junglers. But Frostiak came out on top with the blue buff, and now Daza, without his ultimate, trying to put some pressure on mid, but ward placement's going to give vision. He's going to have to just soak up some experience here overall. Might even eat a Spirit Ball. Nope, just going to juke that one out. Farm up as best he can, eating a couple of Wind Gusts as well. And we're all about to, for the time being, to just farming away and looking for the next opportunity.
Mid camp's not spawning for a little while here, so junglers have to find something to do. Hun Bats trying to make something happen on the left-hand side. Exposed Secrets getting their blue buff, but the vision is supreme. They know that the three members of Heroes and Zeros are coming. They're going to opt to use their abilities, pick up that blue very quickly, and get back into lane safely.
We look at the Mercury in the solo lane, played by Zalia, went straight for the golden bow. Now that's going to increase his mobility. Obviously, it's going to give him some crit. On top of that as well, it's going to do some AoE damage to the minions around it to help with the wave clear. And that's pretty important as well as Mercury against Aurora in this lane. He's going to get pushed in a lot if he doesn't have some effective wave clear there after.
Yeah, that golden bow is going to be fantastic for him. It does proc off of the Major Look does proc. It only procs once. Once upon a time, actually, this was a really broken setup. Because of the way it's worded, Major Look procs on hit abilities, and with Golden Bow it did a lot more, but in the middle lane, this is what's a lot more. Up in the air is Rom. Dazer taking a lot of damage, about to go down. Nobody can get the last hit. Enigma gets it at the last second, while Funballer and Shadow Nightmare get kills on the enemy team in synchronization. El Seto with a beautiful wall. Yeah, tries to get around, and a stun through the wall again.
Oh, the snipe!
King gets a kill with the snipe, make that a
double,
and safely away gets El Seto. Credit to Arna King, the savior.
That was a crazy fight between the two. We saw Funballer use the ability from Rom to shoot through walls to pick up on the backside there Vastrico, who was trying to use the walls for cover. Not today, said Rom. I'm going to shoot through those bad boys. But that turned into Smite combination, picking up 2 kills. And that was very aggressive from Heroes and Zeros, but they're showing signs of life here after. They're showing why they've managed to make it through to the semi-finals and be one of these potential teams to make it into the Pro League still, putting in a good fight against an all-star lineup of Exposed Secrets.
Definitely. We see the mechanics on display right here. You know, I was talking to Wolfie yesterday who lost, unfortunately, against an Athena comp, and he said it very plainly. Athena is set up in a bottle. It doesn't matter what character you're using. You can set up with that Athena taunt right there. We saw it right there. Athena taunts, gets them lined up in a row. Ross snipes them down, takes 2 lives, and saves the life of his actual Athena. So fantastic team play coming out from hi-rez and zeros. And if they keep it up, the game could be as close as it is right now. Teams separated by 17,000 gold.
Right hand side, going to see Darcy using the Fino Evo, looking for Zalia, but Zalia pops sprint immediately, looking to turn around and apply the damage back. The crit hits 351 damage, and he's trying to heal up his Darcy inside. That healing beam from Rob, but not for long enough, and here's Frostiak with the Frost Breath to force the disengage, but now the aggression is on as the wall comes down, and there's the shards of ice, boom, from the Iceman himself, as On King drops as well, and Enigma can just walk away. There's nothing he can do, F-Dot.
Consult your dictionaries, folks. That is the definition of counter gank right there, folks. They came in, the aggression was turned completely around. I think that hi-rez and zeros were surprised at the amount of damage that Zelia could really dish out. The crits coming out from the Mercury with sprint enabled is just a lot. Great Aegis, but the stun coming out after Shadow Nightmare waited out the Aegis. That's a dead Enigma. And now Exposed Secrets have full reign over the entirety of hi-rez and zeros' camps.
On the left-hand side, Funballer does go down 2v1, but picks up Athena in the process. Manages to survive for as long as possible there, but still not going to be enough to secure his life for the time being. But he's 10-5 right now, and with Athena being down, look at the swing from Exposed Secrets here. After all from the right-hand side of the map to the left, they're going for the Gold Fury, and I like this call.
It's a fantastic call right now. I'm Dazer already has that Hog 3 before 10 minutes, so he's able to handle this. El Cito does have Hog. He ults in. Out comes a lot of damage from both teams. Shadow Nightmare
and a pause
during the engagements. That's very curious, and immediately we're going to confirmation from the admins, but the way that we normally handle this is pausing during an engagement, especially one like this, is an immediate disqualification. There we go. Confirmation. Exposed Secrets is disqualified.
Wow.
For whatever reason, Shadow Nightmare unfortunately pulled out that pause and DQ.
I don't know what exactly went on with Exposed Secrets there, but as the rules state, after, you know, you're not allowed to pause during a fight that's going to happen, so it's a really bad ending to that game. Was really exciting for us to cast F-Dot, but there's not a lot we can really do here. Exposed Secrets did go against the rules that are stated to them. They paused during an engagement, so they do forfeit this game to hi-rez and zeros, which means the underdogs coming into this one move on to the finals now to face off the other semi-final game, which will be casting live for you very shortly, guys. I'm sorry for the ending to that game, kind of, you know, unexpected from everyone, but we'll be right back, F-Dot, with the next game.
Yes, we will. Next.